Francois lived in Paris, and he had lived there all his life. That's why he knows very well how to travel on the metro. He goes all by himself, sometimes when he doesn't need to change trains. Even so, there is a place he hasn't been to, Francois. It's the Eiffel Tower. He's never gone right to the top. He sees it sometimes from far away, but he would really like to climb it to the very top and see the whole of Paris below. One day, his grandfather promised to take him there on his next day off school. The next day off school, Francois was late with his homework. At 3 o'clock that afternoon, he was still doing his sums. And he still had more work to do. The Eiffel Tower would have to wait for the next time. On the second day off school, Francois had a cold. He was completely hoarse. He stayed in bed all day next to the stove. The Eiffel Tower was mentioned, but hardly at all. On the third free day, very early in the morning, Francois was ready. His cold was gone, and his homework was done. The Eiffel Tower was waiting. Francois and his grandfather went by metro. The journey was rather long. There were 2 changes, and lots of children. Finally, they were there, but there were so many people in the queue in front. People were speaking English and all kinds of other languages, but few of them were speaking French. Francois thought that he was the only little boy in Paris who hadn't yet been to the top of the Eiffel Tower. His grandfather thought that it would take too long to wait in a queue this big. Poor Francois, he wouldn't be climbing to the top on that free day. And they returned home on the metro, where there were just as many children as before. But on the next free day after that, everything went well. Francois and his grandfather went back to see the Eiffel Tower. They actually climbed the tower right up to the top, next to the flag. They looked down and saw a very small Paris, with people like little grey dots. They recognized the big monuments. The Arc de Triomphe and Notre Dame are not so small, but they couldn't see the little boats on the lake in the Tuileries Gardens. Isn't Paris such a beautiful city?